Hello everyone, and welcome to my Python programming tutorial. And in this video we are going to look at how you can be able to modify these properties, the name and the tribe. Like you can change the value of this one. So when you look at P1, this is an object which you created in the last video. So if you didn't watch the video, you can watch the video on my YouTube channel. It is just recording. Then also we have object 2, which is a P2, just a person number 2, with different values for the name property and also for the tribe property. So what I want to do is just to change maybe the person's name as well as the tribe, and then also delete the property as well as the object. So as simple as that. So I'm not going to go back. If you didn't watch the previous video, I would encourage that you go back and watch. Okay, so now what we're going to do is, what I can do is I can change, let's say modify the object P1, and then which is just a P1 name. Okay, so what you can do is just say that we want to change, so P1 dot the name, that is the property, and then we assign it to a different name. So let's just say this name could be let's say Lakson, one of my best friends. So we are changing the object's property and that specifically the name. Okay, and then now I can print this one, say print P1 dot name. Okay, so we can just say name changed to, okay, so we can do that. So name changed to, and it's going to give us the name that we changed. Okay, so we're going to say run this. So now you can see that the result comes out as saying name changed to Lakson Karinda. Okay, we can also do the same, changing the object property, which is the tribe. Okay, I think this should be like Lamba, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so of course I'm just guessing, but this should be the one. So we can also print that, and so P1 dot tribe, and then you can just say now before that we can just put a string, tribe changed to, okay, we can do that, tribe changed to. Okay, so what we're just doing is we are getting the object. P1 is an object and name is the property of this object that we are trying to from the class we are trying to orient that one as an object. So object has got things that we can actually name. So this P1 has got the name, which we have just Lakson, and then also the tribe. So this is another object property, the tribe. So I think my friend should be Lamba. So when I run this one, I'm using Sublime Control B to see the result. Okay, so now it says tribe changed to Lamba. Okay, so that's pretty much on how you can just manipulate or modify the object. So now let's see how you can delete the object property. So if you want to delete the object, you can just so delete object property. Okay, so how do you delete? So you can just use the keyword del, and then the object property that you want to delete, P1.name. Okay, so you discover that if I want now on the second line to print P1.name, it's not going to come out. So I'll get an error because this one is actually moved out. or whether this one doesn't actually exist. So that means I'm only left with one property, which is a tribe. So I do that, I run. Okay, so now you can see that I get now an error. Okay, so I get an error on this part. So I'm printing something that has been deleted. Yeah, so you can see the actual error where is happening, where the error is happening. Okay, so this is it. Okay, so so what you must be able to understand that if you do the del, which is just delete, and then the object property that is the name, then that will actually remove that from the memory. But when I actually remove this line of code and then run the code, I'm going to get something. Okay, so I'll be able to get back that. Okay, so you can see that. And then lastly, you can also delete the object itself. Okay, delete object itself. Okay, so the whole of the object will not actually exist. So what's going to happen now is the same thing, del, then what's the object, that is p1. Okay, and then if I want just to check, print p1. Okay, so it is also out of memory. Okay, so control P to run. So you can see that I get an error. It says P1 is not defined because it doesn't exist in the memory. Okay, so that's all I wanted you to understand this, and then we're taking our tutorial to a more interesting stage in OOP paradigm. Okay, object oriented programming. So thank you so much for watching. Remember to subscribe, like and share this video. It's bye bye, and I'll see you in the next video.